Hello?
Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos. Well, we have so much going on at Ner Tamid that it takes a team of announcers. Eddie Simon, our executive director, Gloria Rosenberg, our in-house song leader, and John Henderson is just making sure we don't lose our place. All right? Right? I mean, or our way. I mean, it could happen. Are we ready to do announcements? What do you think? Get a little music for the announcements? There we go. You see, you thought we didn't rehearse at all. All right, so Gloria, what do we got going? I think something special tomorrow.
Oh, something very special. We have, what do we have?
What do we have tomorrow?
Noah Shabbat.
Well, I didn't know of that.
Lori, what is so special about Noah Shabbat?
Noah Shabbat, well, besides the animals, there's us.
Oh, there's us. You know,
I
don't know. Do I have to go?
Yes, you do have to go.
Well, I have to, you know, if it's an animal theme.
Yeah, you got to dress.
I got to dress.
You got to dress appropriately.
Oh. Orangutan,
maybe,
giraffe.
or maybe someone who missed the boat.
Okay.
I don't think you can get that suit at Men's Warehouse, though.
No, you can't get that. No, we're going to be doing Rabbi and Glory in the dinosaur costumes, petting zoo, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Now, do we have any menches here? Raise your hand if you're a mensch. All right. Okay, a few men know what that is. If you're a mensch, come on now. What do we have going, Eddie? November 5th.
November 5th, Men's Steak and Spirits at 5:30 on a Saturday night.
Okay, love it. Cost? What a deal.
$20.
$20. You can barely go to McDonald's for $20.
Yeah.
All right.
That.
All right. Not yet members. $40. So you better join. All right. Now a little bit more on the somber note. Everyone, you know that I've been working hard to bring out a special film about Wilfred Israel. We're going to show it first to King David at 6 for the Kristallnacht observance. And then you can either watch it again or come for the first time after services on November 11th. All the way from Israel, we're bringing out the producer and director and writer of this. It's really good. I've watched it. It's a documentary, but it's really, really good. We have not heard much about Jewish heroism, Jews who have saved Jews. This is an untold story. He only saved thousands of children, thousands. So his impact in saving Jews many more times than Oskar Schindler, but both remarkable stories. All right, what do we have? Oh, look at this one.
Thursday, November 10th at 7:30. The
Right
Desert
here.
Winds.
Right here.
Right here. And they're amazing if you haven't seen. Incredible.
They're at 7:30, but you do have to register, not on our website, but on the Desert Wind website. How many of you have been to their Veterans Day concert? Okay, so you know what we're talking about. It's beautiful, patriotic. They do a wonderful job. We get like a symphony here.
Yes, and the price is right.
All right, Eddie, what about this? Carpooling, Argen.
Yes, Argen is going on their wine walk in Boulder City on Saturday, November 12th at 4:15. Rabbi, do I qualify as an Argen?
We can make you an honorary.
Oh, well.
Well, not
and maybe
really.
in a few years I'll grow up.
It's like around 50 and above.
50 and above. But it sounds like a lovely afternoon. RSVP to join the group at, thank you. RSVP to join the group for dinner at the Bistro. Boulder City, I'm still newish to Vegas. It's a nice area, right? Very fun
really
area,
good,
fun
really
downtown. This sounds like an awesome event. If you're going to go, please visit the website and register an RSVP to Mindy Watkins.
All right, sounds like fun. Now, anyone here really feel it's important to give blood to save lives? All right, guess what Glory's got to tell you.
Okay, so our religious school mitzvah day takes place on Sunday, November 13th. Go to our website to sign up for the blood drive.
Or Narcan training. So if that counteracts opiates. If you happen to be with someone who's overdosing and you have the Narcan, you can save a life. for reals. Really important. Now we have a brand new seniors program. Did anyone go to the opening, look around? It was fabulous. We had about 50 people. They were up, they were dancing. It is not the old school seniors program. It was wonderful. So they're going to be having their next program on November 14th at noon. All right? And we want you to come. We really want you to come. We're starting a grief counseling group at Nan Spector. If you're interested, it'll be starting the middle of November on the 15th. And the Sisterhood Sisters, what are they doing? They're going.
Well, let's see. The Sisterhood Sisters sneak out to the Olive Garden on Wednesday for my birthday. I should join them at 6:30.
You should join them. Jim, make sure she goes to the Sisterhood event.
All the
breadsticks you
salad
can
and
eat.
the breadsticks that I can eat. Sounds good to me.
All right, Eddie, the last announcement.
Sisterhood is also having their Literacy and Lecture Society series on November 17th at 6:30. Their guest speaker will be Temple member Roberta Bobby Kane, the first Jew ever born in Las Vegas. True story. And you can register on the Temple website. She's a published author, and I don't know if any of you have met her, but she's an amazing, lovely person to talk to.
All right. Do you got all that? Did you write it down? I know you didn't, because it's Shabbos. Couldn't write it down.
But Rabbi,
But
if they haven't, if they're not sure, they can't remember a date or a time,
then
where
they're
should
like
they go?
me. Then they're like me.
Like all of us, check out the Temple website and look at the calendar.
All right. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Glory. Well, that about ends it for services.
That was so fast.
that was, we have so much going on. It takes 3 people. If we had one more page, we would have had John.
Yeah.
But we do have John, so let's take it away with an opening song. What do you think?
Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem on 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boechem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Sechem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Call upon Pam Henderson and Cassidy for the honor of kindling the Shabbat lights. Page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu ner, להדליק ner של שבת.
126. Let's read this together, a prayer of gratitude. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. Continue on 138 with Lachado D.
Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat, nekabe, ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'litchila. Ya la la, ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 l'krakala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat, nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mikor habaracha, Mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof shebemachshava techila. Ya la la, ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 l'krakala. Ya la 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 penei Shabbat, nechabela. Please rise. Bo'ir v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha. Uvtzola toch emunei am segula, boi chala, ya la la, ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 l'krakala, ya la 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 la, Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat, Nekabe, ya la 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 Chadodi, ya la 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 Grat Kala, ya la 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 la, Panei Shabbat, Panei Shabbat, Nekabela.
146, we remain standing for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya 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 la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
We remain standing as we turn to page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too, for its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. Go ahead, ask him. Ask him. Invite him.
Meyer? He is our religious school student.
Come on up, buddy.
For the Ve'ahavta. You ready? Here we go.
You're going to give me Bob. Let's see where my microphone is.
You ready? Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'chol avacha uv'chol avshecha u'v'chol meotecha v'hayu havarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'divartam bam v'pshitecha v'vetecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shofbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot betecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohehem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetem echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
Good job. Good job. $157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osefele Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osefele osefele
Vishamru is found on 162. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time.
Veshamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritz olam Veshamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritz olam B'nei Uvein B'nei Yisrael B'nei Yisrael oti le'olam V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritz olam B'nei Uvein B'nei Yisrael B'nei Yisrael B'nei oti le'olam V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the tefillah, 164, 166. We rise. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Rav Le'Oshia. Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'el Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman Atah Lecha Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaMechayeh HaKol.
Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom, Yechalucha Sela, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue reading at our own pace through page 179. At that time, please be seated. So we turn now to our Mishaberach, our prayer of hope and healing. So many people in our lives, we care about them. We include them in our prayers. Think of those who struggle with matters of the heart and mind, addiction too. We also think of those who are caregivers who give so much of their time and energy to make sure their loved ones are cared for. We pray for their strength and courage and resiliency. And so I think now of those on our Mishaberach list. We think of Bessie and Jean-Marc Chaubert, Logan Knapp, the Knapp family, Valerie Rocher, Yirmiyahu Ben Sarah, Angela Thompson, Mindy Bacharach, Tommy Urbanski, Carmen Prater, Linda Chenin, Lori Hall, Debbie Gold, Neil Kolodner, Ron Ostrov, and Joan Wolberg. If you're watching online, we can't see the names tonight. Our cantor is our tech specialist, but please put the names, if you want, in the chat, and those who are watching can see. For those of you who are here in the sanctuary, please stand to say their names of those that you care about, if you want to say a name. As we think of all these, we join together in our Mishaberach prayer.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Well, tonight we have a special guest joining us, Temple member Sandy Perlman, who first joined Temple, I think before anyone else here, 1988. A former school teacher and psychotherapist, Sandy comes from California. What part, Sandy, of California? What part of California? Anyone else from San Pedro here? LA. We have some LA Nicks. We got a few LA Nicks, but has lived in Las Vegas area for many years. She has rejoined Ner Tamid not too long ago, and she's looking forward to becoming more involved. When she reminded me of her particular outstanding talent as an accomplished storyteller, I said, "Do tell." And here she is. She believes stories are universal and everyone has one to tell. So listen, Halloween isn't exactly a Jewish holiday. When a Jew knocks on the door, they go, "Epis liyentov," okay? Anyone who speaks Yiddish, you get that joke. But we thought we would kind of get in the spirit of things, another pun. And so Sandy has brought a spooky tale of a dybbuk from the 1800s. Sandy, take it away.
Thank you, Rabbi. Is it on? Yes? Okay. I'm going to move it just a little bit forward. Okay. It's good to see all of you here this evening. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And again, Rabbi, thank you for the introduction. I have a short tale to tell. But before I tell this story, I would like to give you a little background because I found it very interesting. Because of the Halloween and the ghosts and all of this, how the children get dressed up, I chose a Hasidic story because they, as a part of the Orthodox, do spiritual kinds of stories. They talk about out-of-body experiences. They talk about their stories of superstitions. They talk about ghosts. Not always the kind of ghost that I remember. Does anybody remember Casper the ghost? Well, that was a friendly one. These kind of ghosts are dubiks. And I have a story about that. Now, what I found interesting, by the way, was the Hasidic beginnings in the 1700s began in the Ukraine, on the western side, near Poland. And the village is still there. The village of Vishnevitz is there. I looked it up on the global, the Google map. And so it is still in existence there. And the story that I have, I think is going to talk about good versus evil. And so this is the story. It's called the Dubek Melody. Long ago, in what we call the 1800s, there was a cantor. He was very well respected, very well loved in his village. And he was also the follower of Rabbi Duval in another village. They were Hasidic, and their congregation and the village was filled mostly with Hasidic people. Now, the cantor got old. And sometimes what happens, voices change. And the voice of the cantor that once filled the synagogue with charm and beauty and called the people to prayer was now hoarse and raggedy and very, very unpleasant to hear. So a part of the congregation wanted to get rid of him, have a new cantor come in. The other part said, no. He is our cantor. We love him. We treasure him. We need him. We cannot make a change. And so among the congregation, there was this quiet kind of feud. And the cantor stayed, but everyone began to hear his voice did not get any better. It got worse. And so they decided, the congregation people, with their temple board, to present an offer to the cantor that he could not refuse. And they had waiting in the wings a young man to hire to do the singing, to be the cantor. The old cantor did indeed accept the offer, but he became filled with anger, and he did not like his demotion. In the meantime, the young cantor came in, and of course he was hired because he was a musician. He had this voice that was filled with beauty, that would fill the temple, that would bring the people into prayer, and he was a very pious young Jew. But the old cantor was filled with so much anger, so much hatred, so much envy, he became ill. And a few days before Rosh Hashanah, his illness killed him. He died. And now the congregation, not only feeling sad for the loss of their beloved cantor, they blamed themselves for maybe hastening his death. Even the young cantor who was hired, who did not know him, he was filled
with heart-sick feelings and also felt rather guilty. But you know, it's temple, Rosh Hashanah is coming, and so the young cantor was rehearsing with the choir. Came Rosh Hashanah, the opening prayer that the young cantor had rehearsed was ready to sing, and something terrible happened. Not a word could come out of his mouth. Not a melody came out of his mouth. His mind went blank. And then, all of a sudden, the ghost of the old cantor appeared. He was a dubik. Now, I didn't tell you this, but dubiks are evil ghosts. They do malicious things. And this was a dubik who then got into the cantor's soul with a whoosh. And now the cantor stood there, the young man, and started to sing. The words were coming out of his mouth, and everybody in the congregation knew they were listening to the voice and the music of the cantor who had died. And when the young man realized what was coming out of his mouth, he just fainted away. And the congregation came to help him, some members, to carry him, to take him home. And as they got towards the back door, he pulled away. He came back up and said, "This is my spot. This is my lectern." You know, it was the voice of the dead cantor. "This is my place, and nobody is going to take it from me. No young cantor is going to sing my songs." And when the young man realized, again, it was the voice of the old man, he collapsed again. And they took him home. And members of the congregation helped with the prayers during that day. Now, a few days later, somebody brought him to the great Rebbe Duvidal. And he, again, the Rebbe was the one that people came to for help them solve their issues. And the young cantor is standing there, and the rabbi said, "Come in with me to my study," and he locked the door. And then he said, sing for me." And you know what happened. The voice of the old cantor, the dubik, was still inside the new young man. And so, Rabbi became very angry. And though he was looking at our new young cantor, he was speaking to the dubik inside, and he said, "You are to leave this body." He said it in Yiddish and in Hebrew. "You are to go back to your eternal rest. You are to allow this young man to have the career that you had, to grow and be honored by the community as you have been. Go now." There was silence. There was a faint sound of weeping. There was silence again, and the rabbi said, "Look, you do not belong here. You do not belong inside his soul. You need again to go to your eternal rest. And you have songs. You have prayers. You even know my melodies. Go back to that place where you were and know that you can sing those songs. You can give those prayers to the pious who are in paradise." Again, there was silence. And the rabbi turned to the young cantor and said, "You are free. You will not be bothered by that dubik anymore. He has gone, and the old honored cantor has been laid to rest in his eternal resting place. And so, with your voice, sing with me. Learn my melodies. Learn particularly that prayer for the opening of Rosh Hashanah." And they worked together, and the new cantor learned it. And so the following year, of course, it was sung. And for years and years later, that particular rendition from the Rebbe was indeed sung to open up Rosh Hashanah. But the people in the congregation who did view what had happened on that day when the dubik arrived and told other people, though they knew it was the rabbi's melody, they always referred to it as the dubik melody. And that's the end of my story. Thank you.
Glory, what do you think? That was beautiful.
I may not sleep tonight.
May not sleep tonight. That's right. Well,
Scary.
pretty scary. Thank you, Sandy. That was beautiful. Thank you. All right. Let's turn now to our concluding prayers, 586 for the Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latech gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kebishbechot adama, shelo samchelkenu kahem, vegoralenu keho hamonam, Vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Kaddish prayers on page 598. Again, those of you watching on the live stream, although we can't see, perhaps you want to place in the chat the name of a loved one. And now we think of those who have died in recent days: John Brick, Louis Bradfield, Timothy Grushi, Annie B. Luster, Alan Blatstein, Arlene Cohen, and Lawrence Newman. The Yortsites we recall are Alan Backrack, Minnie Barnett, Ross Barton, Isidore Benson, Edward Birnberg, Evelyn Peritcher Chenin, Irene Chenin, Irving Corbin, Linda Eckenrod, Robert Eckert, Nathan Ellis, Sylvia Finkelstein, Reuben Finkelstein, Esther Freed, Irwin Gellin, Barry Gordon, Mildred Grossman Saywitz, Robert Heater, Michelle Jensen, Marvin Klein, Sue Kotlow Cohen, Myron Kushner, Norman Lafer, Marjorie Lieberman, Godfrey Doc Malchoff, Esther Matskin Brown, Clara Nathanson, Frida Pittler, Morris Rabin, Jesse Ritchie, Rebecca Rosenberg, Lawrence Rosenberg, Anna Rosenthal, Murray Rosenthal, Art Ruiz, Alice Schiffman, Herman Scheld, Fred Sherman, Max Sinowitz. If there are other Yortsites or a recent death to recall, please stand to say their name. As we think of all these, we rise to recite our Kaddish prayer. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav ezman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam omei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekusha barichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shamai v'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. May be seated. So following services, we're going to have our oneg in the social hall, so that we'll have a chance to have a little coffee, a little nosh, and perhaps get to know each other a little bit better. You know, we have a ritual committee that meets about quarterly, sometimes more frequently. Dell's been the chair for many years as our shamus, but they come up with suggestions to help make our ritual observance a little bit more Hamish. So you may have noticed that the ushers now have a badge that says, of all things, Usher. We purchased them at the House of Usher. Ba-bum-bum. And they also, Paul came up with a nice suggestion. Why don't we, have the tables like we did before COVID so we can sit and talk? So now we have the tables. And we're working on the other suggestion, which is bring back the oneg like we used to have it a little bit more. So if you're on Sisterhood board, maybe you want to mention that. Maybe once a month we'll have our old style where we used to have the chopped liver and tuna and egg salad. It was quite elaborate. I didn't even have to buy dinner that night. It was pretty good. So if you think if you're a member of the temple and you think, you know what, I have some wisdom to share about how holidays or the temple's, practice, and you want to join the ritual committee, let Carolyn know, or Dell, or me, and it's not that much. We usually meet at 5 on a weeknight, and you get to do suggestions. Oh, Marilyn, do you want me to ask you?
No, but you could have mentioned my name. What am I, chopped liver?
Yes. Okay.
Delicious.
Miss Friendly over there, Marilyn, also wants to be acknowledged. I want them to join the committee, okay? Don't scare them away, even though it's Halloween weekend. All right. Raise your hand if you're a member of the ritual committee. Look around. Any of those people. All right? So we want to do a special thank you to our candlelighters. Thank you, Pam Cassidy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Glory.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Dell. Thank you,
Sandy.
Sandy Perlman.
Alex Hill.
No Alex tonight.
Oh, well, we're not taking that back.
Who
Kita.
else? Keto. Yeah. Okay.
Eddie.
All right. Now, if we want to invite Marilyn to come up to join us for the Kiddush, to honor her for her years of service. Come on, Marilyn.
To prove you're not chopped liver,
That's right,
Marilyn.
to prove you're not chopped liver. Anyone else wants to come? Come on. Don't be bashful. Glenn, come on. Come on up.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
more chopped
Meyer,
liver.
thank
Meyer.
you.
Good. All right. All right.
Thank you for
Good.
helping me, Meyer. Does he have a preferred class? Does Rabbi have a preferred class?
Pick any class you like.
I'll go with him too. All right, are we ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Decent juice. Wow. Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We're hiding. So delicious. By the song is Oseh Shalom.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right. Final song, Ose Shalom. We'll go back through the back double doors, or you can go to the side doors and return your prayer books for the Oneg.
Shalom Aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'meru, amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. The back doors are open. Please return the prayer books if you would.